Howdy folks, sorry for the slight delay. Literally in the last few hours I've been bombarded with over 60 friend requests, so I was trying to sort that out to accept as many people as I could before we start. So again, apologies for the delay. So I've just got to mess around now getting Johnny on, which I need to figure out how to do. So just give me a minute, guys, to mess around, and then I can figure it. I just got to find Johnny. 1 second. I've just got to literally wait for Johnny to join this live. I'm just going to call him. Just give me a second, guys, because I need to be able to get him on here. So bear with me a minute, guys, please. Hey, mate, can you see me? Can you see me live? Is it? Okay, that's not helpful. Let me just see if I can see you watching, and then I can get you in. Apologies, guys. Give me a minute. We'll sort this out and get Johnny on. I can't see you as live watching me at the moment, mate. Two minutes, guys. All right, mate. Do that, and then I'll look out for you and I'll add you in. Just give me a sec. All right. Bear with us, guys. I'm just trying to get Johnny on the. I need to get Johnny on the call, so you just have to bear with me for a minute. And yeah, live video. So while I'm waiting for that to happen, I'll give you a little bit of a background to this while we're waiting to get Johnny on. By the way, if you're watching this, please share it to any groups you're part of, share it on your timeline, share away, because we want to get this video out there. Obviously, the replay of this video, once it's done, as much as possible. Live video, isn't it great? So yeah. Okay, so I can see him. I can't bloody add him. 1 second. Apologies, folks. Oh, here we go. Okay, come on, let's hope this works. Okay, I'm adding Johnny in now, so just give me a minute and we will be there, all being well. Johnny, if you're watching, you should have a notification to be added in to this video, mate. Yeah, Gary, I am, but it's live and I've got 81 people watching me sitting there looking like a dick. As I say, I'm just trying to bring Johnny in, guys, so just give me a minute and we'll get there. So while I'm trying to do that, the background to this is I saw Johnny McWhirter post this, make a post about a week ago or so now, about an idea that he wants to implement to try and help the sport with this bird of prey issue that we're all suffering from. I can't It's not added them in. Isn't it great, eh? Excuse me, guys. I say this is not particularly great viewing, but trust me, it's worth it. I just got to get Johnny in on this. Absolute worst case scenario, I will call him and just put him on loudspeaker. So bear with me. But I would like to get him on. I'm going to try one more time. So to the 107 people watching at the moment, the background to this while I'm trying to get Johnny on is that he made a post last week, I think it was, about a plan he's putting together to help the sport and help put a long-term sustainable plan together that makes sense and is ultimately, I think, a solid plan. It's something I'm behind fully, and I'm going to be backing all the way, and I'll get involved. Kevin, don't put pressure on me. Gotta love modern technology. I've done this so many times in other things, and it works, and it ain't working. Oh, here, Johnny's requesting me now. Blimey, we're getting good here. This is good. Come on, add it in. Add Johnny in and just be nice to me. Always be calm under pressure, folks. 120 people, 121 people making me look like a dick. Okay, I don't think this is working. So, plan B. God, I just love Facebook. You should just be able to hit the button that shows a little camera with the circles. But don't worry about rotating the camera for now, mate. Just I'm sending you a request now, Johnny, to come on. I got 129 people watching me look like a dick now. Yeah, I think I might need a beer. All right, one more time. Jesus. Johnny!
Hey,
He's here. Hey!
good with technology, man.
It's all right, man. You made promos quicker than I did, so. Right, okay, guys. So, thank you for that. Sorry about the delay. We have 126 people watching us live, Johnny.
Amen.
So the little promotion this afternoon that we did worked. Okay, right. So the little background to this: 140 people now. Wow. Keep sharing it. Put it into groups, guys. Share it on your timelines. Let's get as many people watching this as possible. So the little background to this whole thing is that I saw Johnny post about this a week or so ago. I instantly liked the idea, and it's actually something I said. I actually said to a couple of people, I just don't know why we don't do this, because when I heard about this, I thought, well, that just makes total sense. When I was over in Ireland, I said it just makes total sense. And then, sure enough, a week ago, Johnny posted it. And yesterday, I did this thing about what the hell's happening with all the young birds, and the general consensus was it's a big part of it. Anyway, you couldn't say necessarily all, but a big part of it is this bird of prey issue. So, Johnny, tell everybody what the idea is and what the general plan is.
Well, what we were speaking about, Mark, was to fight like we like the pigeon sport, is get in the full of UK and Southern Ireland, eagle owls. If somebody would set up with space, plenty of space, and there's plenty of pigeon men that's in a big way that could do this, plenty of space, big gardens, acreage. What we need to do is maybe get, I would say, between 5 and 6 pair of breeding eagle owls.
Sorry to hold you there, guys. I've got a couple of people saying there's no sound. Is that for everybody? Can everybody hear? Just tell me yes if you can hear me, please. And if you can hear Johnny, as importantly, please. Just somebody tell me yes, please, that you can hear. Somebody? Thank you, right. Carry on, mate, sorry.
Right, what the idea was, in the full of UK and Southern Ireland, if we could get between 5 and 6 pair of breeding pair of eagle owls, and get the fanciers to get 5 or 6 people with the ground, we could have a charity auction to raise all this money for the premises for them to be kept in their aviaries and their feeding and everything over the years. But fundraising must start at home to fight. Bird of prey, they can talk about 5G or anything like that. Bird of prey is the biggest killer racing pigeons. So to fight like we like, I would suggest, I'm trying to suggest we do a charity. Keep it for the fancy, to get the money for eagle owls, their aviaries, get it set up. I would go with 1 pair in Scotland, 3 pair in England and Wales, 1 pair in Northern Ireland and 1 pair in Southern Ireland to go with that, the premises, and we need 5 or 6 people to actually keep these. I know it's a big ask, but if we're going to save the sport, we'll have to try and get down this line. In a couple of years' time, we can release young birds out of these, hopefully.
So, Tommy Block saying it won't be allowed, already been discussed. Who says it won't be allowed? Rhetorical question. I want to know what problems people think.
Well, they're saying it won't be allowed. It can be allowed because we can tag, we can do everything the same way as the bird of prey guys that Chris Peckham and that does. They can tag peregrines, they can tag anything. We can do the same. We can set up our own thing to bring back. Eagle owls are historically in this country in Scotland. You go back in the history books, the RSPCA and B will tell you different, but in history books tells you eagle owls are in the UK mainland. So we fight light for light. We've used every other way. This is the way to go. It's all right saying, oh, it's been tried, it's been done. Let us do it right. Get the organisations all done. Get the charity set up. Will you need to raise about £20,000 to get this off the ground for the 5 or 6 big aviaries you would need in the holding pens. And let's go. The cheapest thing to do is buy the birds. That's the cheapest thing. But you want to put them in an enclosure that's safe and big enough that the environment's great for them, that they want to breed in it. It's no use saying, hitting your head off a broke one, say this has been tried. It's not been tried right.
Aggressive idea, plan, definitely. Tom, yes, it is captive breeding plan, mate, to answer your question. So, Paddy McDowell, Eagle Owls is way forward, permitted or not. There's no permit needed. Done right.
There's no permit or anything to keep eagle owls in the UK or Ireland. No nonsense whatsoever. I've checked up on all this.
Tom Lee Lofts, RSPB have killed off pairs that naturally have found their way over. Won't happen. Well, here's the thing. What we're saying, Tom Lee Lofts. They are native to Scotland, and if done right, we're not talking like, underground stuff. We're talking about done right, a proper setup. Then I am with Johnny in saying, let's get it done. Let's make it happen. Let's not be defeated and saying it won't happen. The harsh reality is something needs to happen. And to me, Like I said yesterday on yesterday's live, I discussed it with Johnny earlier on the phone. I love all animals. I won't even kill a fly. And natural breeding birds of prey in the wild, I have a hard time with people looking to disturb that. But like I said yesterday, when I was keeping birds here in 2016, I had birds of prey issues here, taking birds off my young bird loft, and it was a major trauma to me. But the increase, the extra exponential growth we've had in this stuff are these artificial nesting sites. And the harsh reality is something needs to be done. Like Johnny said, something needs to be done. And saying, the idea of it's not going to happen, it won't be permitted. There's absolutely nothing stopping a group of us keeping European eagle owls and starting a breeding program.
Can somebody tell me, Mark, name one city in England without an artificial nest in it for peregrine falcons?
There you go.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Our birds are coming up. I fly north, but the boys flying south, they're coming up there. Same with the south. They're peregrines in Glasgow and Dundee. Boxes are put up for them in cities. It shouldn't be in cities. It's okay if it's well paired, but as soon as their bands are on them, they're tagged. That should interfere with nature. And I'm sorry, but the 50s, 60s, and 70s, as I said to you earlier in the early doors, they blamed farmers. They stopped DDT and everything. Now, the small bird population flourished in the years of the DDT, in the 50s and 60s and 70s. As soon as that was stopped, peregrine falcons have quadrupled, more than quadrupled. And then the small bird decline is unbelievable. No, take away pigeons, the small bird decline is unbelievable in the full of Europe, really.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I'm more interested now at homeland.
It's not just pigeons. It's that it is an issue of a lot of birds, not just racing pigeons. Sean Stockley says someone had a captive one in an allotment and never had a problem around the loft again. Andy Pereira had eagle owl, stunning birds, RSPB would stop it dead. You know what? We'll fight the RSPB because those birds, we've got as much right to. We've got enough right to do it as anybody. Kevin Frell says incubate, you can get 12 a year. Gary Tomlinson has just messaged me, and Gary was one of the people that was on my ideas list. Gary's just sent me a text message saying he is up for doing it at his place, and he's got a lot of space, so that's good because we already have volunteers. You'd need hundreds surely over a period of time. Yes, we would. We've got to start somewhere, and what we're planning to start with is half a dozen pairs to start it. Obviously, get the ball rolling and figure out the plan. We've got to start somewhere with this. Yeah, so that's what we're saying, James. David James.
Doing this way, Mark, is a far safer option than what I said to you earlier, with pigeon fanciers taking it into their own hands and doing things with their birds that some is quite likely shouldn't actually be doing with things like that. I'm not going to say what it is, but this is a far safer way, and you're guaranteed to get the numbers down over the years. And in 10 years' time, you can maybe half the birds of prey that's attacking racing pigeons and wild birds.
Yeah. I mean, look, we talked about that, and we're not going to mention specifics, but ultimately, at the end of the day, what we've got some people doing some really stupid things to try and resolve their own personal situation. And our concern, or my concern, Johnny's concern, is that at some point, some of the things these people are doing are going to get either themselves in trouble or it's going to hurt somebody else. And we've got to be pragmatic and objective about this. And this plan, one, it makes a stand, right? There's absolutely no reason, there's no legal or anything reason why we can't start this breeding program. So I'm up for that. I've always been a bit of a rebel. Let's do that. There's no reason. And and categorically, it should help, and we've got to start somewhere. So yeah, we're only talking about perhaps half a dozen to start, but that's the starting point. Carry on with whatever you got to say, John. I'm just reading through some.
Well, what I'm saying, if you had 6 pairs, Mark, right, to start
Yeah.
off with, you're building enclosures for them, the places to stay. So you've got 3 pairs in England and Wales, one in Scotland, and one Southern Ireland, one Northern Ireland. So you'd have to source who would be willing to take these on and keep them, and you'd have the backing of everybody involved. Well, hopefully we could set up something to give them the backing that's not costing MD, the likes of all the organisations, SHU, RPRA, up north, they should all donate to this. But what I would like to do through you is, let's get the biggest fanciers in the UK involved in this to have a charity auction. Fundraise, get the money in that. We raise for every other charity except for ourselves. Let's keep the money for ourselves that we try and raise. Let's go and see the Mark Gilberts, the Ian Staffords, the Mark Evanses, the Nigel Laycocks, the Dave Hawkins. Let's go and see people like us. Let's go and see all the top Irish boys, Sean Hunt. Let's go and see everybody, top Scottish boys as well here. Phenomenal.
Listen,
all over the UK.
All the top people.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. There's loads of
I
people.
could hear and I could rattle off 1,000 names, but we want to get the top birds, donate it from the top fanciers to try and make an impact, to try and get this up and running. I know £20,000 maybe sound a big target, but it's the only way we're going to save our sport in the future. Because I can guarantee you, 10, 15 years' time, we'll all be flying it'll all be national racing, because there'll be no clubs left and no federations left.
I would tend to agree. Let's go through some comments, feedback. Stephen O'Brien, I know, guys, got them for the same reason. We've got Hugh Avery and Happy Agree. One we pay for the birds in Southern Ireland. There's currently pairs wild, as I've seen them on social media, and up till now the RSPB has not touched them. There would be no law to have them. Sean Wellings, good idea on the school, getting schools involved. Completely agree, and yeah, I agree. Rainbrook, a great idea. Read and release the young yesterday, James. David James, that is the long term. That is a long term plan. Well, if they're not, Dave's saying ISPV would shoot them and have in the past, and they're not a recognised UK bird of prey. You're saying they are, Johnny?
No, they definitely are. Look back at history books, and they definitely are.
You see,
but what you're trying to do, Mark, is you reiterate and say you're not just saving the pigeon sport, you're saving the wild bird colony of the UK in Southern Ireland. When's the last? I used to be, when I was between 15 and 20-year-old, or even younger, you'd see fields full of field fairs, curlews, oyster catchers. They're dying a death. Curlews, you can hardly see a curlew now. And that's in the country. Used to be absolutely loaded with curlews. I've seen peregrines taking a seagull yesterday. A seagull.
You see, there's a few ways this can go, guys. So the initial plan is what we've already said, but then down the line, like my initial reaction when I heard about the European Eagle Hour, it was only a few months ago. My initial reaction was, why? I said it when I was in Ireland. Why the hell are all pigeon flyers or ones that want to not keeping one of these? That to me makes sense. Mark Gilchrist has said a guy in Sutherland had one, has had no problems with bird of prey near his pigeons. So there's a few ways this can go. It's not necessarily the idea, long-term idea of setting up a breeding program to just release them into the wild. Down the line, we could provide birds with birds to flyers. You know, it could be a part of the program. We can see where this goes, but ultimately something needs to happen. And my argument is this: like we're not, like you just said, Johnny, we're not doing it just for the racing pigeon fraternity. We're doing it for the bird population as a collective. And the other thing is, I think what this does is this gives us a good grounding to really start. This is our angle to fight, right? Because the harsh reality at the moment
nothing's really worked to fight. And if we can set this up as a charity-based thing, like you said, keeping it within the sport, you know, the funds and what have you, this gives us a good angle to fight on. This gives us a good purpose, gives us a good mechanism to be able to do it. And down the line, you know, once we get this up and running, like, you know, when I start keeping birds again myself, even without this, I only said to Alexander, we need to keep one of these birds. We need one of these. These birds have a territory, right? For those of you who don't know, Johnny knows more about this, but it's what I've learned from Johnny and Gary Tomlinson a couple of weeks ago. These birds have a territory. They won't go and pursue other birds out of their territory. They're not like going to go and hunt for miles away, but their territory, whatever that is, they're the only bird of prey in that territory. So that's the natural answer. You fight in nature with nature, actually. And then any objections we do have to these birds being around, that gives us the great argument to fight whoever wants to come after us for it. I think it's great. And like you said, you've seen these birds of prey taking seagulls. They've been taking, I mean, you know, all kinds of stuff. Listen, I'm not saying this is the only thing. There are other things. And just quickly going back to yesterday, my take on yesterday's live was that 80% of the current problems we've got are birds of prey. We're talking about a bird of prey that within its area will not allow another bird of prey in its area. Long term, job done. It's sustainable, it's real, it's objective, and it can work over time. And for those people saying, oh, it's been tried, it'll never happen. Well, it's never been tried to what we're talking about doing. We're talking about doing it properly. We're not talking about doing anything underhand. We're talking about doing it properly. And with enough resources and people behind us, we can do it. Like Kopathlos just said, let's get it done ASAP. Don't eagle owls eat everything. Small mammals, other animals, birds aside from daytime, they hunt at night. Yeah, they do hunt at night as well, Bob. Yeah, Anthony.
They only hunt at night, Mark.
They'll
only kill at night, and 90% of the time they'll only kill at night. The same as we're talking about, they'll take small animals. Eagles take small animals. They're allowed in Scotland.
Yeah.
Peregrines take small birds, anything. They're allowed in the full UK. They're allowed all over. Buzzards took a small Jack Russell off the golf course.
Yeah, I'm going to have
to.
So,
you know what I mean? So, their arguments are very frail.
Just as a general point, I'm going to have to be very careful of this little one. Right, read some comments. I will donate a pair, Andy Pereira says. Andy, do you actually have them, or do you mean you'll put the money in to donate a pair? Great, thanks for the offer either way. I just wanted to know if actually you were involved with them or not. Sean Stockley, has to be worth a shot. Too many negative fancies. Agree. Andrew Morgan. Why don't you contact local breeders of these birds with the British Falcons Club? Yeah, we've already got resources to help us with that side of it, Andrew. But thank you. But any other resources that people know of, people that actually keep these, breed these, let us know. We do need to save our sport. Agree, we do, Lorraine. Sean, like somebody else said, it has to be worth a shot. Paul Maxwell says, the OSPB only have a program to protect the peregrine. Why not the eagle owl? A question that should be asked of them. And again, this is what I'm saying, Paul. These questions can be asked, and we will be in a position to be able to start fighting with something other than just words. Because at the moment, like I said earlier, not really, whatever we've done is not really worked. Simon Schofield, have SOS Save a Sport be backed by the top fancies? Yes, it will. Can have a young bird off my classic winner to start, Vincent McConnell says. 100% with you. Thank you, Vincent. William Dean's great idea. No, Sally Ann Weng, they do not eat pigeons. This is the
Eagle
great-
Owl, Eagle Owls are not fast enough to catch pigeons, but they would kill them if they were slow or injured. Let's not be kidded about that. They will kill a pigeon if it was slow and injured, but they won't. It's not their main. It's not their main focus.
Yeah,
Usually,
so they're not going to go
mice,
and take a
rat.
pigeon sky flying, all right? Got loads of comments here.
Their main prey mark is small rats, rabbits, things like that, insects, frogs. Apart from, if they're birds of prey in their territory, like peregrines, goshawks, they'll take them at night. They'll get rid of them. They'll kill them. They'll take them off the nest at night. They will clean it out. They'll put up with. There's a man here, as I said. I seen it killing the buzzard, but that was it. Escaped for a couple of days. Managed to get it back. But what you're dealing with there is these are at the top of the food chain. Peregrines are at the top of the food chain. The eagle owl is, and this is what RSPB is afraid of. They've got something to compete with their main predator. So we're actually breeding these birds to take out their main predator, which has been feeding in our sport birds for years and years and years, and they're getting stronger. Where's this going to end? This breeding program for peregrine falcons? It's never going to end. They're not going to. You can't justify the bird population in this country to feed the amount of peregrines that's in this country. The decline is phenomenal, and our sport's getting hurt as well because we're feeding them. Because we're breeding more, it's costing us more to breed more. Even to go club racing, we're having to breed more. We need to fight like for like,
It's like
and
it's
get
like
these
you
birds
said,
tagged.
like you said a couple of days ago. Every time you let your birds out, you're just giving them a meal, and we do need to fight like for like. Jeff Sylvester, I spoke to a breeder of these and other owls, and he says there are 3,000 eagle owls in the UK to date. Connie Farrell, great idea. Once it's funded by the fancy, there's nothing RSPB or Ireland can do. Totally agree. Something needs to happen. Yeah, they're right. You're right, Jeff. They do feed at night. I'm only learning about this stuff, but that doesn't stop me getting involved, and I will be there. Lorraine Butler, I'm sick of my birds being ripped up. Got to be worth a try. Sean started to count me and donate, and a lot of other flyers will do too. Everything should have a natural predator. Agreed, Tom. It took 12 months of racing to make the RSPB see the decline in songbirds. Will it take 12 months of racing to make? Craver Irvine saying 100% correct. Songbirds going missing as well as in my 80s, my garden thrived with them. Put a pair on the Scottish border to clear the path for the rest of Scotland. Good idea, Andy. Surely we'll have same protection as purses as they will be running captive breeding program. Well, this is the thing, Stuart. I don't know that answer. Will we have the same protection as we'll be running a captive breeding program? Don't know. Johnny, do you know?
Well, what I would do is they'd be tagged, released, and monitored. We could raise money to get the tagging, get it all done legit, the way the RSPB does it with the peregrines. There's nothing stopping us from doing it, monitoring them. This is where you come to Blackpool. We put all the money we give, all the money we give to charity. Let's hold some back and get behind this, tagging eagle owls, releasing them, recording them, get someone set up for doing this. A few of us doing it. Get them tagged, monitored, and even if you're creating a job for somebody to do it, because when you do this and create jobs through it for somebody to look after these birds, you're doing well in the community. Everything you're doing, you're creating jobs for people, which the RSPB do as well. Like for everything they do, we do. That's how you get them, and that's the only way forward.
Okay.
And it's going to take thousands of pounds, but this is why I'm appealing to the top men to try and get a charity sale going, get these birds donated, and let's take it. Let's go head for head, and let's get this up and running, because these eagle owls pick their mates in the autumn. So they do. They pick their mates, and that's same for life. And in captivity, they live between 20 to 50-year-old.
Okay.
In the wild, will live up to about 20, 22. In captivity, between 20 and 50-year-old. Now, how many young can you get from them up to that age? It's a lot of young if they're kept in captivity and done right.
I mean,
You can
obviously,
expand after the first year.
obviously, guys, we've got a lot to learn, and we've got to get right people involved, and we'll do that. Johnny and I, I'll help Johnny with whatever. We'll do that. There's a lot to learn, but like the idea of a captive breeding program, and like I said, I like the idea. We haven't really talked about this, but I like the idea of once up and running, allowing flyers to be able to keep their own eagle out. We can start supplying them to people. Brian Perry, get fundraising started S&P, let's get it done. Michael still have a sale of young birds to get funds. We don't know the exact cost of this yet, but Rich, but we're on it. We're shooting for about 20 grand to start.
What we'd like as well is the big guys that build the lofts, the aviaries, things like that. I'm not saying they could donate full things like that, but they could help with the prices towards us, make it a bit cheaper when we go to build these things. You've got all the top men that does the aviaries, like DD aviaries, Jeff Greenaway in Ireland. They boys, I'm sure, would help. You can't ask them to do it for nothing, but maybe a bit cheaper than what they're selling to the public, obviously. But
Sean Wellings, I will check as soon as I get off, mate, about it. I'm bombarded at the moment, but I will, mate. I promise. Kevin Farrell.
The main thing is to get fanciers on board, Matt, to donate pigeons to get us up and running.
You need a minimum of 20 pairs to get this sort of impact. Again, we can do it. We just need to stop. We just need to start, mate. Kevin. Francis needs to stop dating £100,000 charity all the world and start putting our own needs first. We completely agree, Anton. Simon Schofield says, I've linked Ian Evans in with a professor who did a paid survey on behalf of Songbird Society. So he concludes that demands due to Sparrow Court presentation, these guys need to be on board as well. I should be even pay what we're at. Yeah, I agree. Okay, guys. So I have a lot of comments which I just can't keep up. Go on, then. There you go.
This is a like for like project, Matt. That's just what this should be. Like for like. What the RSPB do, we do the same. Like for like. And this is all we're asking. We're answering the fanciers because nobody else is looking after us.
I agree. Somebody says, how do we intend to get around the UK law on releasing them into the wild? Google it. Totally illegal. Is it?
Never. Listen, we will come to the hurdles once we get the breeding done, up and done.
Okay. All right, guys. Look, we are bombarded with comments here. I just can't keep up. So listen, like it or not, this is the plan. This is what we're looking to do. And we said 5 or 6 pairs, but I reckon with how this could go, we could have more, right? We need to look at how we can start going sourcing. We can do this. This is something I'm totally dedicated to. Like I said, I commented on it when Johnny was saying it last week. I'm behind because you know what? Like Johnny says, we've got to work and we've got to fight like with like. We can navigate the road as we go. We've got to get it started. So there's quite a few negative people on here, guys, right? And listen, I'm all for being objective with people's opinions and listening to them, but the reality is something needs to be done. And negativity don't help. We are doing this. We already have people backing it. As of now, we've got people backing it. We are going to the World Owl Trust are worth talking to as they believe the bird to be native to this country. Thank you, Sean. We'll follow that up. So, look, we're doing this, and we're looking for as much help as possible. We are going to do a charity auction to start this ball rolling. If you want to donate, excellent. Thank you. We are going to be hitting up the top flyers out there. If there's any way you can help, you want to get involved, let us know. We already have, I've offered to do it here. Gary Tomlinson up in Matlock's offered to do it. We could, if we raise enough money, get a dozen of these out. The bigger the better, as long as we can finance it, right? Johnny's the creator of the idea. I'll be working with him. We can get it done. Johnny's got some contacts within the, the community of people that we need. We obviously need help on the specifics of this thing. As I said to you earlier, I like the idea of every flyer that wants to keeping one of these things in their own premises, because I think that makes total sense. But as a bigger picture, this is something that I think my thing since I've been back involved in the game with this is I've had lots of people saying, why you get involved in the bird of prey issue, and I haven't known how to proactively and realistically. I haven't known how to do it, and my default was the RPRA have got to deal with this, or the organisations have got to be the ones to tackle it. This is the first idea that I've had, that I've seen, that I completely agree with. And it makes sense to me to try and get this going. We are doing this. And like you said, Sean, it's about keeping racing pigeons and protecting what we do. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So if you can help, let us know. I will review all of the comments after this video. There's just way too many for me to do now. So I'm not ignoring people that have commented, but we have to draw a line under this because we're already 45 minutes in, and even with the beginning problems. Please share this, get involved. If you want to help in any way, you know people that can help, let us know. We are going to do this. We are doing it. We are starting it. We will do a charity auction. It'll be online using my new platform. It'll be every penny raised will go to this. Johnny and I will work out getting an actual structure in place to make it a proper entity, legal thing. We can start with getting an actual charity is hard to do initially. We can probably start with a non-profit foundation type thing, which is what I've got for this Music is Life charity. We can figure all that stuff. So that's what we're doing. We've still got 45 minutes in, 160 people watching this. We had the most we had was 220 people. So a lot of people have watched it, but there's a lot more people to watch it. So share it, please share it. Thank you to everybody that has shared it already. I suspect this is going to be one of the biggest videos I've ever done based on the amount of people that are watching it live. If you are not in touch with Johnny and you've got questions, add Johnny on Facebook. If you are not directly connected to me, I'm struggling because I'm nearly at my 5,000 friend limit. So that's why I was a little bit late, because I've got 60 friend requests coming in the last few hours and I'm up to my limit. If you want to follow what we're doing on this, we will set up a specific page. We'll get all that stuff done. But in the meantime, speak to Johnny via Facebook. Or go to Racing Pigeon International's page and like mine, because I'm up to my friends limit. I will try and get the friends thing down so I can accept more people. Thank you for watching, folks. Johnny, give us your closing thought. Have you got any more closing?
No, that's me. There's many people that can donate, top fanciers, so we can get us up and running. And the more the merrier, so hopefully we can get it done. We get us up and running for, I would say, the end of September.
Yeah, we're talking action here. We're talking action. So thank you for watching.
Sorry, just before you go, I would say if a late bred auction, so you would want to sell them in September, when people would be off their best and the racing's finished. So take it for there. We can go with the donations we get, but hopefully we can get it up and running. That's what we can do.
Yeah, well, my plan is to have my system ready by the end of August, and then we got to test it, and so we will do this online auction, and we'll talk more about specifically getting that. But if you want to put a bird in or donate to this, this is happening, folks, and we are doing it. So thank you everybody for watching. Johnny, cheers for coming on. We got there eventually
Cheers,
with the technicals.
Technology.
We're doing moving forward. Thank you guys. It has to be worth a try. We are doing it, and it's fighting light with light, and it gives us a good, objective, above board thing to work with to do, and that's what we got to do. So thank you very much for watching, folks. Please share the video. If you're friends with me on Facebook, click the button that says notify when I go live, so you can see when we go live. I go live most days, every other day. I'm going to Dublin, and I look forward to seeing as many of you in there as possible. I'm sure we'll discuss this when I'm over in Ireland at the weekend as well. Thanks for watching. Cheers, Johnny. Catch you soon, guys. Keep flying.
Cheers, Bill. Bye.